episode 20 of the Start, Build, Grow Show, where business and roofing meet. Today we have a very special guest, Rachelle Star, the founder and owner of Trinity Construction Company in Denver, Colorado. Rachelle has built her company with 3 core values: integrity, compassion, and kindness, with a strong desire to give back to the community. I'm extremely excited to have the opportunity to discuss the roofing industry with an intelligent, powerful businesswoman. Well, thanks for your time, Rachelle.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming out. So, Rachelle, tell me a little bit about your background. Did you grow up in Colorado, or?
Born and raised in Colorado.
Born and raised? No kidding. One of the very, very few.
We're going extinct.
Yeah, usually the first question I ask is where are you from? I don't ever ask, are you from Colorado? Usually it's, where are you from? You know what I mean?
And I'm your stereotypical Coloradan.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like hiking outside.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I happy places in the mountains.
Yeah.
I like to paddleboard. I like to be outside. Just super outdoorsy.
Oh, yeah.
So
This is the place to be. Okay, cool. So then, have you always been interested in business and stuff like that?
Forever, yes. Since I was a little kid. I remember when kids were playing, like the girls were playing teacher.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, let me manage this situation. So, always, yeah.
Really? So give me like some kind of examples. Like, what was like the first kind of thing that comes to mind of like, I was into business?
For sure. I was 15 years old and I was big into the music scene. Okay?
Okay.
So I started to market bands in the local music scene, and I would take up part of the head count when I would book a band.
No, this is 15 years old.
15 years old, yep. So,
and you're getting concerts booked over here.
Yeah. That was one of the first things that I did. At 18, I started working for a model and talent management company.
Okay.
And I started here in Colorado. They had locations throughout the country, and the owner took me under his wing, and I started to open up a tremendous amount of locations throughout the country. And
wow, that's very cool.
I started at 18, yeah.
Okay, so 15, you're booking concerts. 18, you're working with a modeling company. You're rocking and rolling. I think I was pushing carts at 18 years old. So now you're just making me feel bad about myself.
No. Right place at the right time.
Yeah, right. That is awesome. So, okay. So we said concerts, modeling, stuff like that. So how did you go from that to what I feel is a pretty male-dominant market with roofing? How did you get into roofing?
Interesting story. So I was making my transition from the model and talent industry and having a child, and I was like, I need to quit traveling. I need to be a mom. I need to be able to stay in one place. My husband owned a residential roofing company, so I started to work with him a little bit. And I learned all about how to settle an insurance claim, how to cater to the needs of the homeowners, and as you would expect, working together didn't go so well for the marriage all the time. It was a little pressure in marriage, so I decided to open up my own company, and out of respect to him, I was like, I'm not going to compete with you. I'll go into the commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got into the commercial side of the industry.
I think that was probably good for the marriage. That's
really good. There were a few other options that were not positive.
That's pretty rough. All right, so I kind of like that too, how you guys kind of diversified there, how he was focusing on the residential, and that's why you went into the commercial side, which is great. So how did you go about making that jump? How was that beginning stages of starting that business? Because I feel like that's the hardest part.
It is. It's all about the relationship building. I hate to call it building your pipeline because it just, that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like what I do. So it's the relationship building and reaching out to the different management companies and reaching out to the building owners and reaching out to the different churches that we have all done work with. And it takes time. That cycle takes time, that trust takes time to build up. So I was reaching out to really going door to door, calling and just setting up networking events and getting to know everybody that's out there.
So how are you going through that phase? Because I feel like in the beginning you're like, okay, I need to generate revenue, right? And you're like, but I also need to be genuine with my process of building these relationships. But you're like, man, it'd be so great just to crack a couple of deals, right?
It's a double sword. You do both though. You're genuine with your process and you touch every single person that you possibly can. You reach out, you don't touch it. You reach out to every single person that you possibly can. And you start building that relationship, right? And then you learn through that who you want to partner with.
Right, and that's a big thing too, which is tough because it's like in the beginning, like we're saying, it's like I need revenue, but I don't want to deal with certain people.
You take on all the jobs.
You take on all the jobs.
All of them.
And then you get beat up along the way sometimes.
You do, and you figure out the type of people that you want to partner with later,
Yeah.
that you want to work with later. It's that learning experience.
It is funny though, because it's like, I feel like some kind of stuff when I get some of these deals in the beginning, but really you're like, this is why I got this deal.
Yeah, I was awesome.
Because nobody else wanted it.
Right. But there's so many things that you go through with that experience, right?
Right.
You get to learn from the challenges and grow from them and stretch.
You learn a lot.
You do. You know, if you're not being challenged, you're not learning, right?
Yeah, getting beat up a little bit too.
It's super positive.
You just gotta sometimes take those beatings.
Take it. Yeah.
Take it.
Go.
I think that's how you can tell if you're meant for starting your own company, though. 100%.
Oh, for sure. It's not for the weak or thin skin.
No, if you get offended easily,
You should
you're
not
done.
start your
Yeah,
company.
especially because like you're building it, right? And so it's like when people are talking trash about it, you have to be willing to just be like, all right, it is what it is.
Take it, but you also learn from it,
You learn
right? When people are
100%.
talking trash, you really have to self-evaluate and say, what are they saying and why?
Yeah.
Is it just because they're essentially just being a hater, right?
Which could be the case.
That can be the case.
But-
or is it something that I need to look at and grow from and change and figure out a new way of doing it?
Which can also be the case.
Right.
Yeah. Which is tough to admit in the beginning too. But
It is.
Yeah.
But if you're humble enough to take it, I've had some great people in the industry take me under their wing and say, listen, do it this way or this way.
Right.
That may not be exactly how I want to do it because that's not where my heart's at.
Right.
But I can take bits and pieces from each suggestion and then make it mold it into my own. Right.
So then how do you, actually, I'm going to jump to that, actually, I like that topic. So how do you do that in the beginning where you're actually, because I think there's a lot of people that maybe it's their ego that might get in the way, where it's like, I'm in business for myself, I'm going to make this happen.
Right.
How are you able to kind of open up and go out to people in the industry and make sure you're using them as tools to grow your business?
It's been an experience because you can look at somebody and have them take you under their wing and you're like, I do not want to do business like this individual or this is really, but then if you really listen super hard, there's those gems that you can take and there's those pieces and points. You're like, okay, there's some good in that. There's something that I can take from there. And like you said, when you have certain people that you've worked with, you're like, I wish you would have done it this way, or I wish you would have whatever, approached me in this manner.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that next time and see how it works.
Yeah.
And that's where I've really learned to listen very carefully to everybody that I'm surrounded by. It can be your customer, it can be your subcontractor, it can be your employee, it can be absolutely anybody. They can give you that gem as long as you're listening.
Yeah.
Right?
That's tough to listen.
It is.
I got a lot to talk about. So what about, tell me at least a high-level overview about Trinity Construction, so that way we can kind of dive into some more details about the company and stuff like that.
So the company as a whole caters to management groups and building owners and HOA boards. So anybody that is anybody that is a manager, owner, or board of a commercial facility or multifamily facility.
Okay.
So we do anything from multifamily to commercial industrial to retail space to business establishments. It's a huge range of who we cater to, or the buildings that we cater to.
Okay.
And typically what happens is we'll work with as an example, a management company.
Yeah.
You're building that relationship, right?
Yeah.
You go on and you go ahead and you send your first contract and you're able to settle the first claim for them. You're able to advocate for them through the insurance process. That's 99% of what we do.
Right.
So you advocate for them through the insurance process and you're able to give them that voice that needs to be heard and represent them when they're walking through that whole process. So we take on all of the work. It's not just the roofing aspect of it. We're full exterior restoration.
Oh, you are, right.
So a general contractor.
Right.
That's what I am. So
Right.
I'm a licensed Class A general contractor,
Yeah.
but we do full exterior restoration. Where a lot of other companies, they'll just do the roofing aspect of it. We'll actually work with the insurance company for all trades.
Right.
And then sub out the other trades.
Right.
And then once they do that, they see how the experience that they've had, the care that they've been given, the customer service that they've been given, they turn over their whole portfolio to us. It's happened 100% of the time.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's not one time.
Congrats on that. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Say something about the experience.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Right?
So, would you have any tips then for people that are in commercial sales to kind of be a little more successful or maybe hit their goals and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Don't always look at the bottom dollar. If you continue to do that, it'll be, you can tell, the customer can tell that's all you're worried about is the money.
Right.
Really care about the project and listen to what their needs are and be there to provide a solution. And listen to what they want. What type of solution do they want? What type of, and is it the right customer for you?
Yeah, that's another
Right?
part, yeah.
Right? So there's a couple of different approaches to the industry. There's the, what I call the Walmart brand approach, where you're quick in and out, bottom dollars, what counts, all we care about is the money, just real fast, let's make it happen type of solution. And there's some customers out there, there are a lot of customers out there who want that. So there are a lot of businesses that can provide that. And then there's the Nordstrom.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when you provide the Nordstrom service, when you go into Nordstrom, what are you looking for?
High quality experience. Yeah, right.
The whole customer service experience, right?
It's pretty crazy. Some of those, what is it, they're personal shoppers that you call it? I'm like, how the heck did that person remember that?
Exactly.
Right.
So really identifying your customer. And Trinity Construction is the Nordstrom. That's how, and those are the customers that we cater to.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so what about goal setting, stuff like that? How are you guys breaking that down? Are you guys looking at like in sales numbers and stuff like that? Are you looking at a monthly, quarterly, annual? How do you guys set that up?
So we look at that monthly.
Monthly.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good
We look at that. We work with a financial advisor on a consistent basis that not only looks at projecting our future revenue, but he also evaluates the past, and we determine what we can take on. Not only how we want to grow, but how much we can take on with the manpower that we have.
Yeah.
Because you can't lose quality, right?
100%.
So it all has to line up together cohesively. And so you have to look at your growth on a monthly basis. Okay, this is our next client that we're going to bring on. Do we have the manpower? How are we going to take care of them? What is the next step there? And then you branch out and we look at it monthly, but we evaluate it quarterly as well.
Okay.
And then we evaluate it on an annual basis as well and project. We're already projecting for 2019.
Wow.
So,
So what about people that aren't doing that? Should they be doing that?
They absolutely should be doing that, because then you're just flying by the seat of your pants.
Right.
So many professionals have said, if you don't have your goals written, how do you know what you're going to achieve? It's not really a goal. It's just a dream. It's a thought, right? So you have to really sit down and take the time to evaluate everything that you want, write down your goals, and put them on the board for everybody in the company to see. Because you all have to be working towards the same goal, right?
Yeah.
So I think everybody needs to be involved in that. So I'll meet with my financial advisor, and then we'll come to the company as a whole and say, okay guys, this is where we want to be. Give us your input. Be a part of, you're a part of Trinity Construction. You're the reason why Trinity Construction is here. What do you see in the growth? How do you see this happening?
That's big.
Because they have different perspectives, working in the field and working in production and working in the office. And when you bring all those thoughts together, then you're able to grow the business together and they have a piece of it.
Yeah. So that actually brings me to my next two topics then. So I'll start with the production side. What tips do you have for production? Because to me, I'm not in the roofing industry, but it blows my mind what you guys are capable of doing when it picks up and you guys need to be able to have more capacity. What tips do you have for that for other companies out there?
A ton of communication with your crews. You have to be very, very well prepared. I am somebody who puts everything in writing. So the crews will get their schedule well ahead of time. The customer will get their schedule well ahead of time. And when I say well ahead of time, we're at least a month ahead of time.
Wow.
So they know exactly what to expect and when. And that way you can evaluate the project as a whole, because there's different variables to different projects, right?
Right.
What type of material are you putting on? What are you taking off? Or are you working right now? We're working in a school. So that brings a whole new level of safety to the program, because even though school is out for the season, there's summer school there. So
that's true.
You have to have a tremendous amount of communication.
So communication is key.
Huge. It's absolutely huge.
And planning. It's
absolutely. And before you solidify your production plans, you need to talk to your crew. Is this realistic?
Right.
And then that goes back to your salesperson. Is your salesperson or your representative pitching something that makes sense and that you can come through with? You don't ever
all these different pieces.
It's huge.
Right. So what about, speaking of pieces, what about, the pieces of the team? How are you going about the hiring process? Like, what's been working well for you to make sure you have the right person?
I am really worried about hiring.
I love that. At least you're honest. I respect that.
Because we have a company culture, right? And you have to make sure that the person that you're bringing aboard fits within the company culture, otherwise it'll disrupt it, right? So I do a full day interview process.
Full day? Dang, man. I'm just sweating on that one.
It's a working interview.
You won't believe this, man. She kept me all day.
I do, and they know that. So we'll go through the process of, okay, let's do the meet and greet. Let's do a 1 hour interview. The next step is going to be a full interview.
Wait, did I just hear that right?
Yeah, that's right. And if you're not willing to do that part of it, then that shows me your commitment.
Right.
How interested are you?
Yeah, right. I respect that.
I've never had anybody tell me they were willing to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. These are your right people then, right?
Right.
So what about the culture? How do you make sure that as the company grows and stuff like that you keep that culture intact?
I make sure that through the interviewing process, want to make sure that we all have the same core values. Like I said before, I don't want the person that is just like, I'm price driven, I'm just price driven. I appreciate that, definitely, but that has to be a small part of building the relationship, right? And that's what we are, we're relationship builders. Regardless of whether we're building a relationship with our subcontractor or each other or the customer, so I have to make sure, and I'm really picky about their healthy lifestyles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like
absolutely.
that. That's cool, I like that.
You have to be, because how you live your life on a daily basis reflects how you're going to work.
100%.
Right? And then I take that even further when they get hired. I'm interested in how they're doing. Like, is it your kid's birthday? How can we make it better? Right? Is it your wife's birthday? What are you gonna do? Let's plan for this, because if you're happy at home, that reflects how you work.
100%.
Right.
100%. That's cool. So what about getting the name out there? What's been the best way to get your name out there, market the company and stuff like that? Make sure that people know who Trinity is.
I have to tell you, word of mouth has been amazing.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. I'm now venturing all these years later into marketing through videos, and obviously drones are really big right now. Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn's been phenomenal.
Has it really?
It really has. If I would suggest anything to a new business owner, to a new roofing company, any type of business, get on LinkedIn and make sure you have those connections, and then the face-to-face networking combined with that. Yeah, absolutely.
So how are you using LinkedIn right now? Because you're actually the second person that's mentioned me this, and someone mentioned it last week, and I don't think enough business owners are using it effectively quite yet.
So I'm diving into the part of LinkedIn. Before, what I was doing is reaching out to the individuals that would fit within my circle of people that I can cater to or partner with, and meeting them face to face. So now we're going to be doing a new, it's called LinMail. Not a lot of people are familiar with it. So we're diving into LinMail and posting the videos. A new platform that we're going to use is I have our video testimonies being videoed all next week.
That's big,
So those will go on LinkedIn as well, and then providing a value.
Right.
So you provide that value, and then you ask. Don't be a grabber, don't be a taker.
Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. That's cool, because video is really big right now.
It's huge.
And the video testimonials, I think that's something that a lot of people should be implementing, but they're not yet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's so impactful. Like for example, I had something in our business where we launched a website for somebody, and last week they're like, this was the best week we had to do in business. Like that should have been on video though. You know what I'm saying? Like those are like the missed opportunities where I'm like, dang it! Like I
know what you do.
All right, so let's see here. What else do we have? So what do you think? What's been your biggest lesson as like a journey, through your journey as an entrepreneur? What's been your biggest lesson?
It's definitely working, like I said before, and I know I sound like I'm a broken record, but identifying who your customer should be has been the biggest lesson. Because you want to be able to work with like-minded people and meet their expectations and understand that you're on the same level when you're working, you're able to provide those services to them. And in addition to that is the hiring aspect. That's why I moved to the full day working interviews. Because you are as good as the people that you're surrounded by. Right? So you have to make sure those are the right people.
So why should people be putting such a big emphasis on who they're working with as a customer? Because if you're telling me that as a salesperson, sometimes I'm like, hey, as a salesperson, I gotta close a deal. Right. You know what I mean? So why is it so important to me then as a salesperson?
So if you close the wrong deal, that person's not going to give you a ton of referrals, right? It's not going to flourish. You're not going to be able to cultivate that relationship.
Right.
If you close the right deal, what is that going to turn into?
Referrals.
You're going to cultivate that relationship. You're going to talk about nothing but good things about what you've done, right? So you get to choose. Yeah, you may bring in that wrong deal right away, but long term, how is it going to benefit you? Good call. There needs to be a lot of thought put into that.
Good call. Okay, so like let's say I just started my roofing company. This is my first season in roofing. What advice do you have for me so maybe I can avoid some of the headaches you had to deal with?
Don't grow too fast.
Don't grow too fast.
Don't. Really, because that'll hurt your reputation. So if you take on more work than you can handle, you're hurting your reputation, right? But if you take on the right amount of work and blow it out of the water, again, the long-term vision, they're going to give those referrals. So next season, when it hails again and when our next season rolls around, you're going to get 10 times the amount of work. Absolutely.
Okay, so before I kind of start to wrap some of this stuff up, what is, what was I going to say here? What's the best way people can find you online?
TrinityConstructionServices.com.
Boom. Perfect. I like it. Actually, so I got two more questions for you. One of them was, what advice do you have for women that are looking to get into the roofing industry?
So I definitely feel that we have a niche in the industry. We're able to provide, and no disrespect to any men out there by any means, but we have a skill set of really nurturing our customers and being extremely organized. And I think that both of those characteristics that most women have will benefit in the trades industry. We're able to bring something else to the table that's not necessarily there all the time.
The organization is a big thing.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And we're approachable. Let's be honest. Right?
So use that stuff to your advantage, I guess, right?
Absolutely. Use everything that you've been blessed with to your advantage.
Okay, that's
it sets yourself apart.
So you
don't want to be the same as everybody.
That's true.
I don't want to go into
you gotta stand out.
Female, dominated industry. What makes me different there?
Right? That's a good point. Okay, so what about I always like to end it with a key takeaway. What key takeaway do you have for business owners who happen to own roofing companies?
Okay, I would say that don't lose the passion for what you're doing and really use precision on every single job that you're working on. Don't get sloppy. Absolutely. You can bring on too much work again and lose that precision and that heart. So if you don't have both of those things, you have to keep your hustle, right?
Keep the hustle.
You have to, but you have to make sure you have your hustle and heart, right? A lot of people say that, but you can't lose the precision in that. You can't lose the quality.
Precise hustle almost.
Huge,
Which is tough, especially when you're hustling. You're head down.
Let's go. But at the same time, you can't because that's what builds your reputation, right? And when the other roofing companies come around and they're sloppy and there are going to be mistakes that are made. But it's how you handle it. There's always, you can't go through. You can't. But how do you handle it? That's huge too. Get on it immediately, right away. Let them know that they are your number one priority. And don't lose that throughout the relationship. Always treat it like you're on your honeymoon. Right?
I like that. That's a good way to end it. Well, thank you so much, Rachelle. This was awesome, guys. This was episode 20 of the Start, Build, Grow show where business and roofing meet. We had an awesome guest, Rachelle Star with Trinity Construction. Thank you so much, Rachelle.
Thank you.